In our lives, we often come across people whose influence is subtly destructive, eroding our peace and lowering our self-esteem. Have you ever felt drained after interacting with someone who seemed charming at first? This could be a sign of a covert narcissist, someone who is skilled at manipulating others to satisfy their own ego, often at the expense of others. How can we, as a community, effectively work together to grow and support each other? When we use the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to protect ourselves and create a healthier environment, we find a strong way to deal with the emotional turmoil that these kinds of interactions cause. Marcus Aurelius, an old sage, said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will be strong." Focusing on our inner responses is taught by Stoicism. This gives us the strength to not only handle the narcissist's tricks, but also to do well despite them. Let's look at 8 Stoic tactics that are meant to make the narcissist fear, or at least respect you. How can our personal growth help the health of our community? Let us ask ourselves what ideals we are willing to stand for. I want you to really work with these tactics. Think about each one as a step toward your own freedom and a sign of our shared determination. Watch this video and stay tuned. Until the end, come with us on a trip to find deep lessons from Stoicism for a life with meaning and clarity. Let's start this journey together, ready to face our problems, the knowledge to know what we really need, and the peace that comes from knowing where we belong in the world. Number 1, don't take responsibility for their emotions. Epictetus, a Greek philosopher, once said that what bothers us is not what happens to us, but what we think about it. Our first defense against the covert narcissist, who doesn't take responsibility for their feelings, is based on this basic concept. The Stoic way of life teaches us to tell the difference between what we can control and what we can't. The emotions of others, especially those of a narcissist, are not under our control. So why do we often carry the emotional weight of people who can't understand us? This question not only makes us think, but it also encourages us to be stoic and detached. When a narcissist tries to control your emotions by making you feel guilty, angry, or let down, they're using a form of emotional dominance. How can you use the Stoic discipline of indifference to stay unaffected by these attempts? Marcus Aurelius used this quote to show that you have control over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength when a narcissist tries to dump their mental pain on you. Remember that your inner fortress is strong. You can't be manipulated by them if you don't take blame for their emotional state. Not caring about a narcissist's feelings isn't the same as ignoring them. It's about keeping a healthy separation between what you can change about your own feelings and reactions and what you can't change about other people's feelings. This is an important distinction to keep in mind when dealing with narcissists, who often expect others to take care of their emotional needs. How might shifting the responsibility back to the narcissist change how they treat you? Realizing the limits of your control can help you stay calm when they are trying to control your emotions. By using this Stoic approach, we not only keep our peace, but also subtly show the narcissist that their emotional games have no power over us. This can make them scared because it upsets the control they are trying to have over our emotions. People feel emotions all the time, and how we deal with them can have a big effect on our relationships and health as a whole. It is important to know that we are not responsible for other people's feelings, even if we can understand and help them. It's possible to get emotionally burned out, become codependent, and have a bad relationship where personal limits aren't clear when you take on someone else's feelings. Holding a firm separation between empathy and duty helps us build stronger connections with others and support our own personal growth. Learn about emotional ownership. Each person is in charge of their own thoughts and deeds. Understand that you can affect someone's feelings, but that you are not in charge of how they feel or react. Helping other people take responsibility for their feelings gives them the power to become emotionally intelligent and resilient. Set up healthy limits. Protect your mental health by setting clear limits in your relationships. To do this, you need to know when to help and when to back off. Setting limits helps keep your emotions from getting mixed up with someone else's and keeps you from being too affected by their feelings. Show empathy instead of sympathy. To have empathy, you have to understand and share someone else's thoughts without taking them on as your own. This different is very important for keeping your emotions in check. Be there for them and listen, but don't take their feelings personally or feel like you have to solve their problems. Useful communication. Honest and open conversation is very important. Let them know you're there for them, without taking blame for their feelings. To make your feelings and limits clear, use I statements. For example, I care about you, but I need to take care of my own emotions too. Help people think about themselves and grow. Help other people create healthy ways to deal with their emotions. Encourage people to do things like be more mindful, write in a notebook, or get professional help if they need it. Encourage them to think about themselves and grow as a person, and help them understand and control their feelings on their own. We can make our relationships healthier and more balanced by learning and following these rules. Realizing that everyone is in charge of their own feelings is a key part of empowering yourself and respecting others. Number 2, expose deception calmly. One of the most useful skills we can have when dealing with a hidden narcissist is the Stoic practice of calmly exposing lies. Stoics like Zeno said that a wise person is as indifferent to other people's wrongdoings as he is to the natural world. This detachment isn't because they don't care, but because they have a deep understanding of how fragile people are. The challenge here is multifaceted. How do you deal with someone who thrives on distortion without getting caught up in their web of lies? What does it look like in real life to stay detached, but involved enough to call dishonesty out? In a situation where a narcissist spreads a story about a coworker to make them look bad, a Stoic response would be to not show any anger. Putting together clear, unarguable proof that they are wrong and showing it in a place where the facts and tone can speak for themselves. This way is very different from direct confrontation because it relies on clarity and proof to show what's really going on rather than argument or emotion. The lessons of Epictetus are especially useful in this situation. He said that people are upset not by events themselves, but by how they think about them. To show a narcissist's lies, one should focus on clarifying rather than confronting them. Think of it as straightening out a crooked picture instead of breaking it up and fixing the story so that the truth is clear and unquestionable. This Stoic approach does two things. It keeps your peace of mind and makes you feel very lost. The narcissists get a lot of pleasure from making other people feel bad, and when you calmly bust their lies, they lose this source of fuel. Often, this makes them rethink their plans, or at least think twice before telling more lies. That's all we have time for today on how to calmly expose lies. I want you to think about and talk about your experiences. Have you ever had to show that someone was lying? What strategies did you use and what happened? How did you stay calm during those times? Your stories and thoughts are very helpful as we work through these complicated interactions. Whether it's done on purpose or by mistake, lying can hurt relationships and break trust. When you're being lied to, getting angry or violent can make things worse and usually does more harm than good. Instead, it's better and more effective to reveal lies in a cool way. This way not only helps you deal with the problem, but it also helps you stay honest and calm. Gather proof. Make sure you have all the facts and proof you need before you confront the lie. This helps get your point across and makes your case stronger. Having solid proof stops the liar from quickly denying what they did and gives you the confidence to make your case. Keep your cool, do not lose your cool, and think clearly about what is happening. Getting upset can make it hard to make decisions and hurt your case. Maintaining your cool makes it easier to get your point across and shows that you are in charge of the situation. Make your message clear. Directly address the lie, but do so in a cool and polite way. Make it clear what happened and how you found out about the lie. You can get the other person to stop being defensive by using I words to talk about how the lie makes you feel. Try to understand, give the other person a chance to explain their side after you've given your proof. Misunderstandings or mistakes can be mistaken for lying sometimes. Listening to their point of view can help you solve the problem better and keep the friendship strong. Protect yourself. Once the lie has been exposed, it's important to make sure everyone knows what to expect in the future. Make it clear that lying is not okay and spell out what will happen if it happens again. This helps stop similar problems from happening again and encourages honesty and openness. If you follow these steps, you can expose lies in a cool and helpful way, protecting your honor and making the environment more open and honest. Number 3, call them by their name. Stoic philosophy puts a lot of weight on the power of reasoned argument and how important it is to deal with things as they really are. Epicus. Stoic philosophers said that everything has two handles, one that it can be carried and one that it can't. If your brother does something wrong, don't try to handle it by the handle of his injustice. Instead, handle it by the handle that he is your brother and that you raised him, and that's how you will handle it, as it is bearable. When dealing with a covert narcissist, calling them by their name serves the same purpose. It's about recognizing their behavior for what it is and talking to them directly and personally in a way that is honest and firm. When you call a narcissist by their name, you're not just using their real name, you're also calling attention to their actions and behaviors. This method gets past the masks and performances that narcissists usually use to control or influence people. So then, what does this plan really mean? Ideas of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to look deeper than the surface and get to the heart of a person or a situation. For example, if you call a narcissist out on their behavior in a clear and consistent way, you're using a type of moral clarity that is deeply rooted in Stoicism. This clarity forces the narcissist to face the reality of their actions, which could disrupt their usual patterns and manipulations. For example, if a narcissist is subtly undermining a co-worker in a team meeting, a Stoic would call them out on it, without getting emotional. I saw that you had some questions about John's most recent project. Could you be more specific about what you think is missing? This method not only brings up the problem, but it also lets the narcissist know that their tricks will be called out in the open. Using this direct method on a regular basis could change the dynamics of your interactions. It might encourage honesty and make the manipulation techniques narcissists use less effective over time. This could lead to a change in behavior, or at least a lessening of the effects their actions have on you and those around you. Moving on to the next method for scaring the narcissist. The Stoic philosophy is a strong way to deal with interactions with a covert narcissist. When you talk to someone, using their name is a great way to get to know them, build trust, and connect with them. It lets them know that you see and value their uniqueness, which makes encounters more personal and interesting. Calling someone by their name can make them feel like they belong and are respected, which can lead to better relationships and communication. This lesson talks about why and how it's important to address people by their name and gives you tips on how to make it a habit in your everyday life. Getting to know you. By using someone's name, you make a personal link with them, which makes the conversation feel more real and close. It lets them know that you see them as a person, not just a face in the crowd. How to build trust and respect. When you call someone by their name, you show that you trust and respect them. That you remember their name and pay attention to them shows that you care, which can help you build stronger, better relationships. Getting better at talking. Names get people's attention. If you call someone by name, they are more likely to pay attention and join the talk. This can help people communicate more clearly and deeply. Making a good first impression. It makes a good impression to remember and use someone's name. It shows that you are thoughtful and caring, which can help your image and social standing. How to boost morale and confidence. Hearing their name can make them feel liked and respected, which can boost their confidence and spirit. This is especially important at work, where it can help the team be more focused and get more done. Making it a habit to address people by name can help you get along better with others and make your conversations more meaningful and enjoyable. A small but strong way to show respect and build good relationships with others is to remember and use their names. Number 4. Seek truth over sentiment. In a world where feelings and personal preferences rule, choosing truth over emotion is essential for living a life based on facts and logic. This principle says that facts and objective understanding are more important than personal feelings and views. When we put truth first, our actions and choices are in line with a clearer, more accurate view. This method not only makes us more honest, but it also helps us connect with the world around us in a deeper, more genuine way. The basics of making rational decisions. Rational choices are based on facts and objective analysis, which means they lead to better and more reliable results. Application. Before making a choice, get information from reliable sources and make sure it is correct. Separate facts from views. When making a big business choice, it's better to rely on data-driven ideas than on gut feelings or other emotional factors. Improves honesty and integrity. Important. Telling the truth builds your credibility and trustworthiness in both personal and business settings. Practice being honest and open all the time, even when telling the truth is hard or uncomfortable. Saying you made a mistake at work and fixing it right away instead of hiding it for fear of getting in trouble helps people communicate clearly. Clear, honest conversation keeps people from misunderstood each other and builds stronger relationships. Action. Talk to other people in an honest and accurate way without adding to or changing the truth. When you give honest comments to a group of people, you make sure that everyone has a clear picture of what's going on, makes you stronger against manipulation. Having a mindset that is focused on the truth makes you less easy to trick by people who play on your feelings or biases. Application. Think carefully about the information you get and ask yourself if it is true and what the source of the information is trying to tell you. For example, thinking carefully about political statements, making sure they are based on facts, and getting the bigger picture before forming an opinion. Allows for learning and personal growth. Finding the truth takes an open mind and a readiness to face reality, which promotes lifelong learning and personal growth. Take feedback seriously. Look for new information and be ready to change your mind when new proof comes along. Accepting helpful feedback from a mentor and using it to get better at what you're doing is an example. In conclusion, a strong concept that shapes a life of honesty, clarity, and strength is to choose truth over emotion. It calls for a dedication to being objective, honest, and always learning. We build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and grow as people when we base our actions and choices on truth. Take on the task of looking for the truth, and let it lead you to a more real and satisfying life. The Stoic thought Marcus Aurelius once noted, "Reject your sense of pain and the injury itself disappears." This maxim underscores the importance of focusing on objective truth rather than the emotional responses that can cloud judgment. Why is prioritizing truth over sentiment useful in dealing with narcissists? Narcissists often exploit emotional reactions to manipulate others by emphasizing truth and objectivity. You prevent them from using your emotions as leverage. It's essential to ask, how can focusing on factual accuracy rather than emotional responses change the dynamics of your interactions with a narcissist? Stoicism teaches people to separate their feelings from their thoughts, which leads to a life of peace. Using common sense and knowledge to guide them, Seneca. Another Stoic philosopher said, "If you want to be loved, love." This may seem counterintuitive when dealing with narcissists, but it shows how important it is to act on principles and reason instead of emotional impulses. For example, if a narcissist tries to provoke you by questioning your abilities, a Stoic response would be to calmly present facts about your accomplishments and qualifications that contradict their claims. This method not only helps you stay calm, but it also firmly brings the conversation back to reality, where personal attacks have less of an effect. More importantly, by always choosing truth over emotion, you set a standard for interactions that makes manipulative behavior less likely to happen. As we think about this approach, it creates an atmosphere where emotional manipulation is less likely to work and open, honest communication is valued. I want you to think about your experiences. Have you ever had to force yourself to ignore your emotions in order to see the truth? If so, describe the situation and the results. How did putting facts ahead of your emotions help you get through the challenge? This strategy not only helps you deal with narcissists better, it also helps you grow as a person by building your resilience and emotional intelligence. Number 5. Remember your worth. It's easy to lose sight of our own worth as we go through life, what with outside opinions, societal standards, and personal setbacks. Remembering how valuable you are is an important part of keeping your self-respect, confidence, and mental health. Realizing your own worth, no matter what other people think or say, is part of it. Knowing and accepting your own worth gives you the power to live your life honestly, make smarter choices, and build stronger relationships. Embrace the unique things that make you you. Everyone is different because they have their own traits, skills, and experiences that make them unique. Take some time to think about these things about yourself and enjoy them. Being creative, kind, strong, or having any other trait that makes you unique could be this. Protect yourself. Setting limits is an important part of keeping your sense of self-worth. It means being able to say no when you need to, protecting your time and energy, and making sure that other people know your boundaries. Setting healthy limits helps you put your health first and reminds you of how valuable you are. Put yourself around positive people. The people you spend time with can have a big effect on how you see yourself. Spend time with people who make you feel good, support you, and respect you. Toxic relationships can hurt your self-esteem, while positive effects help you grow and feel like you're valuable. Self-compassion is important. Think about yourself and be kind to yourself like you would a friend. Being self-compassionate means realizing that everyone fails and makes mistakes. Instead of being too hard on yourself, treat yourself with kindness and a desire to learn and improve. Take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself on a regular basis is important for keeping your sense of worth. This includes taking care of your body by working out and eating right, as well as your mind by doing things like breathing, having hobbies, and taking breaks when you need to. Setting aside time for self-care reminds you that you are important and deserve care and attention. Remembering how valuable you are is not something you do just once. It's something you do all the time. It means recognizing your unique traits on a regular basis, setting and sticking to boundaries, looking for positive influences, being kind to yourself, and taking care of yourself. Doing so gives you a strong sense of self-respect and confidence, which gives you the strength to handle life's obstacles with grace and strength. Stoics believe that understanding and appreciating one's own worth is very important, especially when dealing with people who want to hurt or trick us, like covert narcissists. Seneca, a Stoic teacher, once said that knowing your life's direction makes every wind blow in your favor. This metaphor says a lot about the importance of self-awareness, which guides us through life's rough spots. When we meet narcissists, they usually want to make us doubt our abilities and worth. Narcissists thrive in places where people don't believe in themselves, because that makes manipulation easier and more effective. But when we believe in ourselves, we build a mental fortress that protects us from such attacks. Imagine being firm in a professional setting where a narcissist tries to downplay your accomplishments. If you have a strong belief in your own worth, their words probably won't have much of an effect on you. Instead of getting defensive, you could respond with a poised list of your accomplishments, or just keep showing how competent you are through your actions. This confidence comes from Stoic teachings that say we should focus on what we can control, our responses, and what we believe about ourselves. Epicurus said that outside events can't hurt us, only our responses to them can. Having a clear idea of our own worth is both a shield and a source of empowerment. To boost this sense of self-worth, regularly reflecting on your own life can be very helpful. Thinking about the things we do every day that are in line with our values. Keeping track of the times we have been honest and asking for feedback from trusted peers or mentors help us understand our own worth more. Doing these things makes sure that our view of ourselves is accurate and stable, so we can deal with narcissists with a calm and sure mind. Marcus Aurelius believed that when you live in harmony with yourself, it shows in your relationships with other people, making them more respectful and healthy. By focusing on our virtues and strengths, we not only protect ourselves from negativity, but we also help build relationships based on mutual respect and appreciation. This helps us stay strong when others criticize or try to manipulate us, knowing that we live not based on their opinions, but on our own. Number 6. Disengage when attacked. In life, confrontations and attacks, whether verbal or physical, are inevitable. They can arise in personal relationships, at work, or even from strangers. Reacting impulsively to these attacks often escalates the situation and causes more harm than good. Disengaging when attacked is a powerful strategy that allows you to maintain your composure, protect your mental peace, and prevent unnecessary conflicts. This approach is not about surrender or weakness. It is about exercising control over your reactions and choosing a path that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Maintain emotional control. When attacked, it is crucial to keep your emotions in check. Reacting emotionally can cloud your judgment and lead to regrettable actions. Take deep breaths, pause, and allow yourself a moment to process the situation before responding. Assess the situation. Evaluate the background of the attack. Determine whether it is worth interacting with or if it is better to walk away. Not every battle is worth fighting, and sometimes the best answer is no response at all. Choose your battles. Wisely disengaging doesn't mean you never stand up for yourself. It means you select the battles that count. Engage only when it is necessary, and when you have a clear goal and strategy for doing so. Protect your peace. Your mental and emotional well-being should be a priority. Constantly engaging in conflicts can drain your energy and affect your overall health. Disengaging helps you protect your peace and focus on more constructive aspects of your life. Seek constructive resolution. If the situation demands a response, aim for a constructive resolution. Approach the issue calmly and rationally, and seek to understand the other person's perspective. This can help de-escalate the conflict and lead to a more positive result. Disengaging when you are being attacked takes self-control and smarts. Instead of getting into fights, you can handle them with grace and confidence, staying true to yourself and your values while avoiding needless conflict. Number 7. Stick to the subject. Have you ever gotten lost in a conversation only to realize you've gone off track? This is a common frustration that can be especially manipulative when a covert narcissist is leading the conversation, often taking us to emotional or irrelevant ground to get the upper hand. How can we take back the reins and get the conversation back on track? Stoic philosophy gives us a powerful tool for this, the discipline to stick to the subject. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, once said, "Confine yourself to the present." By following this advice, we can stay focused on the present and avoid distractions and manipulations that can throw off our conversations and plans. Think about a situation at work where you are talking with a selfish co-worker. Focus on the project goals instead of personal criticisms or past problems by keeping the conversation on track. Let's go back to talking about the project targets we need to reach. You are an example of Stoic resilience, and you keep the talk on track. Why does this practice change things? By staying on topic, you not only avoid the chaos of arguments that have nothing to do with each other, but you also encourage focused, important conversation in your community. This focus can greatly improve your personal and professional relationships by creating an atmosphere where communication is clear and useful. It can also increase group productivity and mutual understanding by making sure that every conversation is a chance for real progress and connection. Let's use this Stoic approach in our daily interactions. This will help us build a community where talks are guided by clarity and purpose. This approach will help you live a happier, more productive, and more successful life. Try it out and see how it changes the way you interact with others. Are you ready to focus on what really counts and encourage those around you to do the same? Number 8. Maintain boundaries firmly. One of the most important things that Stoics do to fight the effects of a covert narcissist is to set clear limits. As Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Clear personal limits are like the walls of a fortress. They keep our sane minds safe from outside chaos. This way of thinking teaches us to be in charge of our own place and interactions with others, setting the rules for how we interact with them. If your partner constantly goes against your choices in a relationship, set a firm boundary, like making it clear that decisions that affect both of you should be made together. This will protect your self-respect and keep the narcissists from getting the chaos they love. Another example could be at work, where a narcissistic coworker is always trying to cross your professional boundaries. A firm answer like, "Thanks for your interest, but I will handle this task as agreed with our manager," reinforces your professional boundaries and lets them know that their bothersome behavior is not acceptable. These cases show how important it is to set and stick to our limits. Firm boundaries not only keep narcissistic tendencies at bay, but they also create a space where our virtues and tranquility can grow. By doing this, we create spaces where mutual respect and personal growth are possible. If you want to try this strategy, think about the areas of your life where boundaries could be strengthened. Ask yourself, what limits need to be strengthened to ensure my peace and success? If you follow this Stoic practice, you will find that having clear limits gives you a deep sense of control and respect in your interactions. Let this Stoic wisdom help you set boundaries with the clarity and firmness of a philosopher king, and you'll live a life full of peace, happiness, and success. As you follow these rules, think about the freedom and strength that come from knowing you can protect your space and well-being from any outside turmoil. We have reached the finish line after reaching 8 milestones on our journey of Stoic self-discovery. We learned how important self-control is today as we looked at the 8 Stoic ways to defeat the covert narcissist. From not taking responsibility for their feelings to setting clear boundaries, each plan is a step toward reclaiming our peace and proving our worth when we are being manipulated. Stoicism tells us to pay attention to how we react in order to stay calm and to go into every situation with a clear sense of what we want to achieve. Seneca words hit home here. Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. Along the reluctant reminds us that willingly adopting these strategies changes our interactions and our lives. I urge you to use these Stoic principles not just as strategies, but as part of a larger journey towards a peaceful, happy, and dignified life. Let this wisdom protect you and guide you in all interactions, making sure that you don't live at the mercy of others, but with the freedom and strength of your own convictions. Please let us know if you think the lessons in this conversation are helpful by clicking like and leaving a comment. Sharing these lessons with your community is very important, so don't be shy about doing so. If you're not already a part of this community, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any valuable lessons from Stoicism. We always appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next videos.